Welcome in this second video for the Open Community Gauntlet, where I'm trying to make a very naive solution for each stage for this gauntlet. So without further ado, let's just write into week 2, the 2-bit subtract if above or equal, and will be fairly straightforward. I will apply the schematic, like every naive solution follows that schematic specifically. This one is based on the last week because it's an incremental build. Let's go for it. So first thing, just studied the website with the best reveal for last week. Cavaldor blueprints. Let's just copy address and let's just place that on our die. I will remove everything first. So I don't know if I talked about this already, but I'm trying to make those two buttons work most of the time, so they are quite capable to load a various amount of files, HC drives, save files, compressed save files, blueprints. So right now we have this blueprint, and I will just take some space. And we have the pinout there, and we have our output on the other side. So just to keep track of everything, I will just put that there, and that probably like this. Yes, looks great. And we have just R&D and they are interleaved, so that's just fine. Yes. Okay, so first thing, I just need to plug A and B into that subtract, so let's just do that. So I need to interleave them. So just for a reminder, you can reallocate, change the place of the inputs, and when you press plus or minus on your keyboard, the numpad, you can increase or decrease the space. So let's just do that. One space left. Yes, this and this. Perfect. So I have a slight shift, but it's okay. So we just need to put that here for A. B is this one. So I just removed the input block, and we need A again. So A2, A1 that is. Up and B. Boom. Let's do that. I like this. Let's put the power. Okay. I will activate the color segment in the toolbox. It's quite handy. You can have all continuous metal pieces connected together with the same, and I can spot a minor issue there. I forgot to remove this. So do know that you have inputs, you can use them, and just to do some tests, for example, like right now, if I deactivate the color, nothing is powered up. And let's say I want to I don't know, maybe just have this B1 input control. Of course, it's not a good example because you can just control from here. But let's say I want to inject something there. So you could just do that. And you need to add a probe. You click on it once, so it linked the first bit. If you clicked anywhere else, it will just add those little links. And there is a shortcut now. You can just press backspace and it will select the text. So I can just add my little text there, test out. Let's go with that. And then I press enter and it creates that little probe. And then you can inject the value you want at this place. And that's pretty much it. It's really, really handy. You can edit, take it to screen, so we'll just stay there. And you can even have some really interesting things like breakpoints. So let's say, for example, I will remove that because breakpoint doesn't work really well with input. We want to break on a certain value. So let's say I want to have a breakpoint there during the power-up phase. And breakpoint tests. Okay, so I have this probe that is without input, so I cannot change the value. But if I want to have a breakpoint when this block is changed state to have a 1, it will stop the validation. So for example, if I reset and I just play the validation, you see it will just stop the simulation right there. Maybe I have some, because it didn't stop exactly at this block. I think it stopped one block too late, but still it's a good way to have like a very long running validation, and you have at some point a problem and you're not sure, so you can just place a probe there, and you know when it's that value something is wrong, so you can make the simulation stops automatically. You can edit and we can remove. So I won't spend too much time on probes. Let's add some mux to the mix. So we have our query. I will just edit to have them properly. I think it will be more handy for me to keep track of this. So this and this. Ah! I want this and this. Okay. Up, let's reset everything. Okay. Now we are in business. Okay, this is the output, so right now it's not very useful. Another tip I kind of use all the time is, you see I never select the block to add, because you have a shortcut. Even if you are there, you double right click and it'll switch automatically to the metal block in the edit mode. It's not active by default. If you go on your control, gameplay option, you can activate this edit mode on double right click. So it's really handy. It's not on by default because a lot of people kind of sometimes play a lot with the double right click and they don't want that behavior, so it's deactivated by default. But there is quite some players that really like this feature, so it's really handy to have. Let's pop back up our schematic. So I will just make some space. and I need some mux, and I'm not. So do I have a mux that is cool? And this one is interesting. It's the same, okay. I will just pop that in. Let's go with this, and another one there. And then I need a knot. Do I have a nice knot? Yes. Simple gate. Okay. Oh, you know what? I want to rotate this. So you can use rotate. It will in fact just flip, but you can use X and Z to have like any mirror configuration. And that should be enough for us. Okay, up, rotate, and I want to be just there. There, yes. And I want to keep that there. Voila. So we have our carry. I want to activate the color mode so I don't get mixed with the trace, because sometimes it's kind of annoying. You do a lot of wiring and just to realize that you plugged something that wasn't meant to be plugged together. So I'm using a lot this feature when you see the color and when you see something like, for example, here, it's not connected anymore. And I don't need this. Yes, I did need that. Okay. That's pretty rough, but we'll do the job. Let's connect this there, and all our power lines are connected. Now I want to have my NOT output. So my NOT carry will be our above or equal flag. So let's put that there. And then the two outputs needs to be the output of our mixes, like so. And so we need to plug those properly. So I need the select. So the select, let's start with that. The select is the NOT carry flag into each mixes. So that's quite simple. This and this is our select. So I can just plug something on the other side. And as you see, it's the same segment because we can totally use gate, the metal gate to do that, just that. And this one is too low. Let's go like so, yes. Okay, so our select is connected. I will just keep one flag, one probe. So I know this must be connected to each control signal for our axis. So the bottom one is what will select the input. And the two input on the left, the two pin on the left is the input, the two entries, and then the output is on the right. So we just need then to plug A minus B0 to the second entry. So we have our first byte that is just there. So let's plug that like in the schematic, the bottom one, and let's route the second signal. Let's do that to A as well. So we have, maybe I inverted them. Oh, we'll test that. So we have A and B, but I put B and A. And we need then the second entry to be A0 and A1. So we have A0 that is there. It's going this. So I can sneak the signal just here. So we have our purple line, and we can just connect to that one. So you just saw this time the segment was broken into two pieces, and then we have two colors, but at first they had the same color. It's just because there is just so many color palettes to choose from, and the algorithm just selected, like it's tried to distribute the usage equally. But sometimes you can have two traces that are really close to each other and kind of the same color or the same shade. So as always, your best friend, I think, at least in my point of view, is the select segment option. It's really handy. So we have plugged A0 to the B entry of our mux. And we have our second entry, so we need to have B1 here. And I want to squeeze that. Okay, so I like to keep the same type of signal on routing the same way, but we'll just do something wild. Just for the sake of minute optimization. I think we cannot go through that knot without touching, so I will just go up. And this is a perfect example of routing issues or challenges, let's say, because you see that it's not really practical. I have to route that all the way, and because our chip is sensible to propagation delay, you must be really cautious about those type of pattern, like I need to route the thing all the way through. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's an opportunity to maybe re-see the layout, so somehow those signals are close together, the two input that is, or the traces is shorter. So I don't need to put that until to the die. This looks fine, and I need to power my NAND gate here. So let's just do that. Let's take the power rail from the right, and that should be it. Okay, so spacebar to center the camera, and if you press again spacebar, it will take the last position you are in. So if I do this, for example, and I press 1, center, and if I press again, it goes back to the first position. Let's validate this. So I have the first test case that goes through, but then that's the second. So maybe it's because I inverted my signal, because you remember Max's A and B are not plugged that way, it's B and A. But because I just need to command those muxes with that select signal. Wait a minute, it's not, I'm touching things here. So yeah, I didn't realize, but I was touching something. So let's make sure those, so the B input was touching the select, couldn't work that way. So we have the same issue. And so most probably now it's because our carry flag that is inverted is driving one way or the other for the mixes, but just for the quick tests, we can just do the opposite. And we then ignore well, let's just remove that and up. So does it work now? No, and I have my out 3 and A that is not good. So the carry flag must be inverted for output above or equal, sorry. So I need the 2 flags. So let's pop that right back in. Let's make sure. So Control Z, Control Y works like you would expect it to be. So I still need the flag. So I just, the inverted carry as a flag. So I can just do this. And this. Let's try that. Yay! Let's go with that. Woohoo! So I have an advanced grade, and this is a major piece of hardship. Is you, if you have a very good base component, base blueprints to build your solution with, it will be really easy to have good grades because I just used this excellent blueprint from Gauntlet. So I have a huge advantage to just use that, even though I kind of was wasteful with the space and the layout, the wiring. There is a lot of space for, a lot of room for improvement. Like those muxes are not specifically compact. You can go to the bonus section and have the 2-to-1 muxes challenge stage and just build a better one, and then use it directly in this stage. So yeah, I think with that I will just stop the video there. Thank you so much for following till the end, and I wish you a good happy new year and a good time with your friends and family. See you next week.